Well, good evening, everyone. This is a very exciting night. We are coming at you live from here at Gruen Guitars, Music City, USA, and here in Nashville, Tennessee. It is a fantastic week. It is NAMM week. It's our guitar gathering conference. All kinds of things are going on, and we are so very excited to have our good friend back with us once again, Johnny Hiland.
How you doing, Brother Steve? Thank y'all.
And you may also know there is a lot of folks that are here watching in our studio audience today. We're actually going to try and get a rare shot of the studio audience. Wave, studio audience. Yeah. Hey, if you can, go ahead and type in where you're from. That's always so fascinating for us here. I see Malaga, Spain, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Boston. All kinds of folks. Winston.
Go Red Sox.
Yes. Let's see. They're coming too fast. Winston, New Mexico. All kinds of great stuff. So California, Little Shelby, good to see you. Chesapeake, Virginia, Lancaster, California. Two different ones from Lancaster, California. You guys ought to get together, meet each other. Wisconsin, Bakersfield, California, Concord, North Carolina, Oregon, Port Arthur, Texas, my home state. Of course, Fort Davis, Texas. I really wouldn't want to be there now. It's probably like 150 in Fort Davis right now. So anyway, it is hot and muggy here in Nashville, but it is going to be a great time. Tonight we're going to be talking about, I don't know, blues guitar,
country guitar,
chicken picking, all kinds of fancy stuff. We'll be giving some things away along the course of the broadcast. If you can, make sure you're logged in at ustream.tv, and you can be in the chat. You don't necessarily need to say anything, but just be in the chat, and then our wonderful folks that help us out will pick someone for these wonderful giveaways. We're giving away all kinds of great stuff. A set of strings from our good friends over at Diodario, a great blue Gruen shirt, which I am kind of coveting myself. That is a great shirt. And our grand prize for tonight by DLS Effects, their new RotoSim pedal, about a $280, $300 kind of a Leslie cabinet simulator. Fantastic pedal. Johnny will talk a little bit more about that. Somebody's going to win this before the end of tonight. But to get us started off with, Johnny and I have rehearsed countless tunes in the last 30 minutes. No, we haven't done anything.
You're funny, Steve.
So, pick a key.
Let's just play on a. Let's play on a G.
G.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, buddy.
Oh,
That's
Johnny, it's
fun.
always great to have you here with us.
Buddy, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. It really is.
And it has been a busy week for you. This is NAMM week, so
It is NAMM week, and
are
I'll
everywhere.
tell you, buddy, it's one of the most exciting times of the year for me. Get to see everybody that I love, great people that that love and follow my career, and for those who don't, they certainly learn about me because I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. No, life is great, man. I'm real happy, man.
We saw you last night at Muriel Anderson's guitar night, tribute to Nokie Edwards from
Yes.
Adventures. It was Nokie's 80th birthday, and wow, just a tremendous lineup of players. Johnny, we had Brent Mason, Muriel
Yeah.
Anderson.
Tom
Nokie closed
Bresch.
out the set. Tom Bresch.
Yeah. Kenny
Th-
Lovelace.
Yep.
Yeah, man. It was absolutely an honor to be asked to do that because I've known Nokie Edwards for about 15 years, and
How'd you meet Nokie?
man, we did a show. We had done All-Star Guitar Nights together, but
Yeah.
we had done a show up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada together. And I apologize for the weak voice, guys. I've been talking for a couple of days straight. But anyway, Nokie and I got to hang at the Edmonton Mall a bit and just get to know one another,
Yeah.
tell jokes, and some were dirty, some were guitar jokes, some were fun. But I mean, I really got to know and love Nokie as a friend, and the fact that he turned 80 is just awesome.
Yeah.
So I was really honored to be asked to be a part of that show.
Boy, what I was thinking as I was watching him play, wow, he kind of was a main figure in that whole
He
surf
really
guitar
was.
thing. That whole kind of genre didn't really exist
No.
before Nokie Edwards.
Well, and man, as I was telling the story on stage last night, they asked us to play a song and then to actually tell a Nokie story. And I was telling the folks at 3rd and Lindsley last night as to how my dad was a real stern man, and he, really wanted us kids to, no matter what we did, we had to reach for the top, no matter what, whether it was play baseball, basketball. Now, granted, his blind boy, like, meaning me, was not going to play baseball. So I ended up with a guitar in my hand, but anything that we tried to, achieve in life, always to reach for the best and do the best we could. And my dad was really never an emotional kind of a guy, really didn't show much emotion for anything. And I remember we did an all-star guitar night at the Wild Horse one time, and it was my mom and dad were in town. So I had a chance to introduce my dad to Nokie Edwards and, of course, Mr. Steve Cropper.
Yes.
And my dad was standing there like a giddy little school kid, didn't know what to say. And of course, he didn't show much emotion then, but that evening, I had a little studio apartment here in Nashville, and I gave Mom and Dad my bedroom. And of course, I slept on the couch. Well, 4 a.m, my dad pops the light on, because the dining room and living room were one room, right? So the light woke me up, and I said, "Dad, you okay?" And that's when he proceeded to tell me, "Oh, I met Nokie Edwards today, man. I can't sleep." And so it was just such a... But that night was the night my dad really validated my career and allowed me to, give me his blessing to, fulfill my dreams and, live here in Nashville and pursue the goal of being a guitar artist.
When did you come here to Nashville?
I came here in 1996 in August and left college after my 3rd year. And man, did that make my parents mad, son. Good gracious.
And what brought you here? Just the dream of
Just
being a guitar
picking.
player?
Yeah, man. I started my career, Steve, when I was 4 years old. Did my first show when I was 4. Played on TV when I was 7. Won Talent America when I was 10. Opened up for Boxcar Willie and Lynn Anderson when I was 10. And by that time I'd played guitar, banjo, mandolin, and fiddle in my show. But really, man, the gift of music came from God, man. I was born in a small town in Maine, Woodland, Maine, to be exact.
Yeah.
And, you know, boy with nystagmus, man, you know, being legally blind, and got told, you know, I could never drive a car. You know, to most kids that would be devastating. But really the guitar was like an emotional outlet for me.
Yeah.
So really God, you know, allowed me to have this gift so that those things wouldn't hurt me so bad, you know.
Yeah.
Because that day I got told I could never drive. Just so you folks in the audience know, I went out to my dad's kindling wood shed with a 410, it was like a mid-1960s 410 custom amp, some DOD pedals from back in the day, and my first Fender Strat that my dad bought me when I was 12, and I jammed to Metallica and Justice for All for about 3 hours until the cops showed up. So, but that's how I got past being upset about not being able to drive. And of course, my wife Kimmy will tell you, I still really don't like the fact I can't get behind the wheel because I love cars. But
Yeah.
cars and guitars, you know.
We had a question coming in. Tom BK is asking, what's that bracelet that Johnny's wearing? A pick holder?
This is called a pick band.
A pick band?
Yeah, Pick Bands actually is the company that makes these. And yes, my new signature V-pick is in here. And people are like, man, look at Johnny Hiland trying to show off his new pick. No, it's not that. It's just I always wear this thing. So anytime I go somewhere with even my wife to a grocery store, if anyone says, hey man, I got a guitar in the trunk of my car, you want to play it? Then I got a pick. I can pop it out and go, sure man, where's your amp? You know? So no, I wear my pick band, man, and I'm going to start selling these at my show. And but yeah, it's I just love them, man, and I've worn them for the last 2 or 3 years. Met them at the Dallas Guitar Show, and fantastic company. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, yeah. What are you playing through today? This Music Man?
Yes, this is a 1998 Music Man Axis Sport, and they stopped making this guitar.
Just such a
of course,
great sound.
oh, it's a great little guitar, man, and it's to me like the Ernie Ball version of a Tele. You know, it's just a smaller body, and of course, I just love it, man. I found this actually on eBay, and when I found it, I thought, man, I'll take a chance. And of course, I have Johnny Hiland signature pickups with Electric City pickups out of Waymart, Pennsylvania, and Matt Martin from Martin Six String Customs does a Johnny Hiland signature wiring harness. And so I wanted to find an Ernie Ball guitar that I could rip the guts out of, you know, and put new pickups and a harness in. Yeah. And this guitar had a pick guard and allowed me to do that outside of the silhouettes that you all saw me play last time I was here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
now, when you got to town, what happened?
You know, man, I hit Lower Broadway. I started playing clubs the very first night I hit town.
Where'd you play the very first time you hit town?
The world-famous Turf. I'll never forget it. And, you know, it was so weird, guys, because, obviously the building was blown down by a tornado in 1998. So the club no longer exists.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, man, when I first moved to town, I started playing there quite regularly. And, for almost a year and a half, actually, playing, 2 to 3 gigs a day, going around to the different clubs on Broadway. But I would always leave my amp at the Turf at the end of the day. So I wouldn't have to, carry an amp, down the street. And I'll never forget the day that big tornado hit, man. And I called the drummer, and I said, so, man, we had that tornado hit. We got a gig tonight? And he goes, Johnny, there ain't no club, dude. But in all honesty, man, that was the first night in the 2 years that I had been in town at that time the tornado hit that I did not leave my amp downtown.
Yeah.
Everybody else lost their drums, bass amps, stuff that they had left at the club, and I didn't lose one thing. So I was real fortunate.
What was your big break? What was the one moment that you can look back and say that was the moment that really started?
Well, first of all, playing with Don Kelly, man, was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I love Don Kelly. I just saw him at NAMM today and hadn't seen him in a while, and I love him so much. He and Uncle Artie and, all the boys down at Roberts. Roberts Western World really became my home after the tornado hit. Yeah. Red Vocard ended up going on the road with Merle Haggard, and I basically took Red spot at the Exit Inn in Billy Block's Western Beat house band, Vacation Bible School, they called it. And then, of course, playing with Don Kelly downtown 5-6 nights a week.
Yeah. How many years did you do that? 5.
Wow. Yeah, man, played the same set 5 years. And, boy, I'll tell you what, I could play Mama Tried backwards, forwards, and Working Man Blues, and I thought, man, if I had a nickel for every time I played that song, But it was barroom boot camp, guys. It really was.
Yeah.
It was, it really got me into learning to appreciate and love to learn all the original old albums from Webb Pierce and Farron Young and, anything pre-1970,
Yeah.
So I was, studying Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys and a lot of music like that, man. A lot of older records.
Don
And,
Kelly's band has been such a melting pot for players over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Well, you got to figure, man. Brent Mason was in that band.
You were there. Brent Mason's come out of there.
Yep. Troy Lancaster.
Guthrie
and,
Trapp's come out of
Guthrie
that
Trapp, J.D. Simo, and
Yep.
so
Daniel
many-
Donato.
Daniel
now.
Donato,
Your
man.
your former student.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Daniel's a great kid, man, and what a great player, too. I'm just so proud of what he's done because he came to me at 12 years old and said, teach me.
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing, man, to have Daniel come to the house and, be that inspired to want to learn. He's a great kid, man.
Now, how did you get started with the chicken picking, the hybrid picking that you're so known for now?
Steve, that's a really weird question because, in all honesty, man, I started playing bluegrass as a kid. And
Really? I didn't know that.
I really can tell you, man, my love for chicken picking or the stylistic aspect of chicken picking as it grew with me came about, I would say, from Ricky Skaggs.
Yep.
I started, I played bluegrass for 8 years, playing guitar, banjo, mandolin, and fiddle in my own little bluegrass band. And until my voice started changing, and then it was hilarious, man. I sounded like a pig under a gate, It was awful. But that's when, really around the time my dad bought me my first Strat. And, in Maine, man, I got to tell you, Northern Kingdom music, man, they've been a blessing up in Maine. But, there were hardly any tellies around.
Yeah.
Everything was Stratocasters, and of course that you got to figure that was '87, guys, and that was Ibanez was out, Jackson guitars, all the rock stuff. Everybody was into the Satriani, Steve Vai craze, and and here's little old me looking for a Telecaster.
Yeah.
So I ended up with this real. I remember so plain, guys. I wanted a bright red Strat, and it was like a candy apple red, but it was a little brighter though.
Yep.
And my dad really didn't know a thing about electric guitars. And so he asked the store owner, Dana Flood, he said, what's the best Strat you got, USA Strat you got on the wall?
Mm-hmm.
And Dana picked up 4 or 5 of them. Actually, I think he only had 4 or 5 in there. And he said, man, this silver charcoal gray colored Strat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, man, that thing is ugly, because the color was just not right. And but that's the guitar I ended up with. And I got to tell you, man, I played that guitar so hard learning chicken picking that I wore the actual lacquer all off the entire fretboard. And thank God I got a good tech now, man. He refinished it and tongue oiled it for me. And so that Strat actually next month is going back to Maine to be given to my nephews.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Wonderful.
Yep. 4 and 2 years old. They'll grow into it though.
Well, as you're watching, if you have a question, please put it up there, and then our producer and our wonderful volunteer helper, Rick, will put that up, and we'll try and get to as many questions as we can along the way.
That's right.
Can you just demonstrate, kind of show us a little bit that hybrid chicken picking
Well,
technique?
you were just asking me about how the chicken picking thing came about for me.
Yeah.
And I told you Ricky Skaggs. Well, when I was 10 years old, my dad took me to see Ricky at the Bangor Auditorium, and that changed my life. He jumped up on a PA speaker with a purple telly and just ripped it.
He's
And that's back when
player.
he was doing Walking in Jerusalem and Country Boy and Highway 40 Blues and all those great hits. The thing that really got me was the B-bender, and
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about a B-bender. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how Ricky was getting those tones.
Mm-hmm. So
So basically, I learned every B-bender lick without one. I just jammed to the records and started, so when Ricky's bending the B-bender down to get, well, I didn't have a B-bender to do that, so I had to learn to do it without it. And of course, when I moved to Nashville at 21 years old, then I realized what a B-bender was, the first time I'd ever seen one.
Yep.
And that's the thing that's weird with me too, guys, and I'm not trying to change subjects, Steve,
No.
but it was weird because I didn't know what a compressor was. I didn't know anything about tube amps.
Yep.
Everything was solid state. So I learned a lot instantly when I moved to Nashville. But getting back to the chicken picking,
Yep.
all the B-bender licks, man, was really what... So I took the simple bluegrass licks that I knew,
Yep.
and I added steel bends to them. And so I had, know, put a little sassafras on it, you know. But that's the thing, man. It was like it became such a. It invigorated me as a kid. I loved that style. I love hearing those notes just drone and bend and wind at you, you know.
Yeah.
And I always loved steel guitars.
Yeah.
So I would sit in my room for hours, and you know, the bridge pickup of a guitar is usually pretty clacky.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is say, okay, how can I get the actual steel guitar sound? So I know we have a little bit of a buzz going on, Steve, and we ain't even drinking tonight, buddy. but I would sit for hours and say, okay, well, if I practiced, I'd take a simple lick like that and say, okay, how can I make it sound more like a steel? So I'd start moving my pick up. You start getting into that harmonic range where you can make it cry like a steel, you know? So I was actually just trying to copy the sound of a steel guitar.
Yep. Yep.
And that's really what really spawned the whole chicken picking thing. And then, of course, the fake fingernails, though, didn't come until Nashville.
Well, I was just going to ask you about that, because that would normally just chew up your nails.
Yeah, and I have to thank Jenny Trang here in Nashville. She runs a place called Modern Nails up on Nolensville Road where I live, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she learned how to do what I call chicken picker's fingernails, where you get them nice and flat underneath. And for all you guys in the audience here, and for all of you in cyber world, if you've never tried acrylic fingernails, you need to. And let me tell you, there's advantages to that. You know, my wife loves it. You know, it's great when you scratch their back, you know, rub their hair, you know.
And you only have it on the
middle and ring
and
finger.
the ring finger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And they're pretty long. Can you kind of show them up to the camera there?
Yeah, sure, man.
So that's a good, you know, eighth to a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, some people like them really low.
Yeah.
I've just found that for me, I like to have just a little bit more, so that, you know, when you do get on a stage and you get a little bit nervous, then, you know, I try to keep my nails the length of where the pick actually naturally hits the string.
Yeah.
So that I can, when I do a natural pull, it just feels comfortable, you know. You know, it just feels real natural, so I can do all my double stop pulls and stuff like that. And, you know, really it's become to where my pick is not just the pick. It's these fingers, too. It's it's all three combined.
So there's basically 3 points that he's touching the string at. He's got his pick between your index and thumb, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got second and middle and the ring finger that are catching all these double stops. That is so.
And you know, it's a neat way of doing it too, guys. Because when you're young, you know, you learn how to straight pick. You know, and I found that even playing rock music or whatever, blues or anything, even in chicken picking too, I found that I'm playing the higher notes with my fingernails. You know. Now, I mean, I can carry the whole lick down, and basically the fingernails are grabbing the strings above, and the pick's grabbing the ones below.
Yeah.
Right. So it's always, if I'm picking on the like high E string, those are gonna, you know, those will be plucked, and the B string will be plucked with the fingernails, and then the pick gets the G string.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, it was a neat style to acquire, but at the same time, like rock players use legato style. You know, we use the acrylic fingernail, you know, hybrid style, to where if you're playing a faster lick, you know, like, then I can actually gain more speed and momentum by having the fingernails than if I straight picked everything.
Right.
So it actually worked out really well.
And even everybody, as I'm just kind of watching this great angle that I have of Johnny's hand, like even just the last couple of licks that he's done, that's really just his pick and his middle finger. The third finger is just kind of anchoring down here and for a reference point.
Well, and actually the cool thing is if you're picking with the pick and the middle finger, doing a fast lick like that, then you can take the other fingernail that's long, you know, on your ring finger, and use that as a string mute underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's essentially what I'm doing. So even though the finger is actually hanging here, it's actually blocking everything. So, but I will tell everybody though, I had to get good with, equally with each fingernail. And see, back in the day, we used press-on nails. Any ladies in here remember that? Well, I'll never forget it. I was the first unsigned level A artist endorser with Fender back in the day, and that was quite an achievement. Yes. I was real proud of that. And I was using press-on nails, and they had me do the first NAMM show for them. I was doing a performance in front of James Burton and George Clinton, and the P-Funk band.
Yep.
People, Marty Stewart was there, a couple other guys. I was just so scared to be around. I started meeting all my heroes in this career, which was just a blessing. Yeah. But as I'm picking along here doing chicken picking stuff, and we gathered a pretty good crowd around, and my press-on popped off. And guess, at a Telecaster, there's that metal plate that goes around here, right? And the pickup sits in that. Well, my fingernail went down inside the pickup hole of the bridge and stuck up just enough to really get under my E string. So every time I hit the E string, it was pang, pang, pang. And so I said, that's it, never again. Never again. And so I ripped them off, and I said, I've got to find another solution. And, of course, I learned of the acrylic fingernails. And they, these things, I've hit them with hammers, Yes, a blind guy tries to use a hammer. I know that's dumb, but I have a house, you got to work on your home every once in a while. And so, yeah, these literally feel like they are attached to your real fingernail.
How long do they last?
About 2 weeks, and then essentially your real nail grows out. And when your real nail grows out, the actual painted part grows out too. Yeah. And then you just go back in and get the back end filled in. So it's actually, they're pretty neat, guys, really.
All right, well, we'll let Johnny take a breath here for a second. We've got a few questions that are already coming up. Oh, some good ones, too.
Nice.
Tom BK is asking, Johnny, do you still get nervous on stage?
Yeah.
No, actually, but I'll tell you the truth. Yes and no. I get nervous sometimes before the show actually starts, but once my foot hits the stage and the lights come on, I'm fine. Now I'm going to tell you the truth as to why. When you're legally blind and you can't see anybody in the audience, what are you going to be scared of?
Yes. Had a couple other ones. Dino58 is asking, what gauge strings are you
9 to 42 elixirs.
9 to 42 elixirs.
Yes.
A regular, normal set?
Yep, normal standard set, but I use elixir strings because they last a long time, and they're they're coated, so they have a nice feel to them. Yeah. And you get no string noise. Yeah. No movement, Some strings you can hear there, shick, 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 when you move your fingers. Yeah. I don't get that with elixir strings. And so fantastic strings, been with elixir for over 10 years now, and they've been wonderful to me, and I really thank them a lot.
Yes, yes. All right, we're going to get to the question about the pedals and gear here in a second. Let's give away something.
Let's do that.
Let's give away. Someone is going to win this really cool Groons shirt. It's kind of a dark blue, deep blue.
Hey, let me see that, Steve. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, someone's going to really love that. You can put that in the trunk of my car when I'm done.
There you go. Okay, the winner of this is Tom BK. Tom BK, you have just won this. Congratulations.
Yes. Awesome, Tom.
Hey, Tom, if you can send me your information at service@mightyoakmusic.com, your address, name, screen name, what you won, things like that. That'll help me get this out to you here in a day or two when we're doing all that sort of stuff. Well, this is Friday, not the normal day that we have live lessons. We're normally on Tuesday, but this is our guitar gathering conference. We have not had a guitar gathering conference in 3 or 4 years now, and we are back having guitar gathering conferences, and it is a blast. So if you are here from our guitar gathering conference, wave, we get a shot of you.
Yes.
Yeah. And to the rest of you, I say, hey, why aren't you waving? Why aren't you there? You should be there. You're sitting at home, and they're sitting here with Johnny Hiland. We've been to the Musicians Hall of Fame today. We were at Muriel Anderson's blowout night last night for Nokie.
Yeah.
Before that, Wednesday night, it was Jack Pearson from the Allman Brothers and his band. Before that, it was the tribute concert for Chet Atkins. Before that, Monday night was Vince Gill and the Time Jumpers. So, again, I ask you, why are you on that end of the camera and not here? But it's been a great conference that we have been doing. There's been workshops going on during the day. We've had Will McFarland, Musicians Hall of Fame guitarist, for Bonnie Raitt and so many great folks. Will did a great workshop. Tim Thompson, legendary fingerstyle guitarist, Winfield Grand Champion. He did a workshop with us. My good friend Dino Paston from Alabama, the group Alabama, and Barbara Mandrell came and we talked about improvising. So it has been a fantastic time. So if you're interested, we're going to be doing this again next year. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. And the official dates for that are June 22nd through the 25th of 2016. So we will be doing our Guitar Gathering Conference June 22nd through the 25th. We'll get you more information on that, but it's been a blast. It has been an absolute blast doing it.
Steve, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead right while I'm here with you online and with the audience here. For those folks that come in next year, if I'm not on the road touring my new record, which I do have a new record coming out soon, if I'm not touring at that time and you have your conference next year, I will actually, we love to do giveaways, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to give away a chance for someone who comes to Nashville to come have a private lesson in my home, and maybe Kimmy will cook dinner.
Well, very gracious of you. The lesson is a nice touch, but the dinner with Kimmy, that's going to be the real...
Hey, honey, I hope you don't mind back there. She said, I'm good. We're all set, folks.
So if you're interested, make plans to join us next year for that. We've actually tried to stream a few of the sessions. So if you go back, if you're looking on Ustream at our Ustream channel, you can go back and see some of the sessions that we did. I know Will's session is on there. A couple of my morning guitar workouts are on there. Tim Thompson's session is on there. Even amidst some of the technical difficulties we had, most of the great stuff we were able to get down. So take advantage of those. Take a look at those, and it's great stuff. And next year, you could be here with all of this. So it's very exciting. Let me tell you about a couple of the buttons that you have underneath your Ustream window. The first one there is I did a video recently on how to put together an electric, a pedal board for an electric guitar, so an electric guitar setup. A lot of folks have questions. What order do you put the pedals in? What about power supplies? What about the actual board? Things like that. What cables do you use? I put together a little video for that. If you're interested in that video, that's the first block down there. The middle block is we have a couple of the Fretboard learning resource, Fretboard theory resources by our good friend Desi Cerna, who is actually here tonight. Desi! So we've got a few of those still left. And to those of you that are waiting for yours, we've had a little bit of a delay in the shipping that hopefully we'll get all caught up on by about Monday or Tuesday. Definitely by the first half of next week, all those orders should be starting to flow again. So thank you so much for your patience. We sincerely apologize for that. But it's been a great time. It's been one of the most successful resources that we've had the privilege of offering. So excited about that. And the third button is our little Guitar Gathering Twitter feed. If you have not signed up for that, that's going to be kind of our new home for live lessons and guitar gathering events, is that Twitter feed. And so we're working on the Facebook page now. We've already got the YouTube page happening. You can go to YouTube and then type in Guitar Gathering, and you'll start finding us there too. I checked the other day, we had over 130,000 views, over 1,100 people had already subscribed to the channel, just crazy. So that's the third button there. So if you're interested, take advantage of all that stuff. That's enough of me yapping. Let's play something.
Let's do that, man.
You want to do like
what you got in mind?
Like a slow blues or something?
We can do that, yeah.
E.
Sure. Nice, man. That's cool. That is fun.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, we've got a couple of questions here. JPA NYC is asking, what pedals is Johnny using to get his signature sound? You have a signature sound. I have no signature sound. My sound is just a sound. You have a signature sound.
You know, man, I've had a lot of, growing up, man, I was really, I had fun in my teen years with pedals. And then as I moved to Nashville, I found that everybody was using like an old Fender Bassman with 2 pedals Velcroed to the bottom of the reverb tank. It was very minimal.
Yep.
And so when I played with Don Kelly, I used a little Music Man RD130 112 amplifier, and I had a triple Boss box. So I had a Boss CS3 compressor, a blues driver, and an analog delay, and a TU8 tuner that wasn't even a pedal tuner at the time. Nowadays, though, I'll admit it, I just turned 40 this year.
Oh, come on. Happy birthday.
I did, man. And, yeah, folks, I'm getting old now. And, not. Well, actually, man, I really have had fun this year getting back into pedals, getting really to find technology has become so awesome, and pedals have come a long way.
Yep.
So nowadays, I'm still running a Boss CS3 compressor because I like it.
Yep.
And I actually use 2 different kind of tuners right now. I actually use a hardwire polytune made by the folks at Digitech, but I also am using tuners from a company called Go-Go Tuners. Now, actually, this little guy that's clipped to the end of my guitar here is the brand new one that TC Electronic is just now releasing.
Yep, the Polytune.
Yep, it's the Polytune. It's the new clip one. So, and that's actually hitting stores in the next couple of weeks, I guess.
Yes, that's the first one I've ever seen of that.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It really is. And so, yeah, I've been getting tunered out, guys, but maybe they're trying to tell me something. I don't know. Turn it, Island.
And so what else you got down
But
there?
actually, I have a Johnny Hiland signature pedal made by Metal Pedals. Buddy Dave Panleone in New Jersey makes these pedals. They're hand point-to-point wired, man, and they're killer. And so it's actually, this one's called the Johnny Hiland Grumble Box, which is kind of based after a Howard Dumble amp.
Yep.
And
can you show us what that one does? Can you
yeah,
give us a little
man.
A-B on that?
It's what I love about this, man, is it gets the Dumble sound if you turn the distortion down. It can clean up pretty good, too. So, like, if you're... well, I guess I turned it off. I don't want to do that. But,
you got the one level.
So if you're playing kind of, if you want to play like country blues, it'll clean up nice. But if you want to start adding gain, to it, you can. And it starts to get this real nice, kind of sweet, broken up. And if I turn it down a little bit so I don't blow y'all's ears out, you can break it up nice. And of course we have a little buzz going, but it's really gives you like a Stevie Ray Vaughan Dumble kind of sound. Depending on if you plug a Strat into it or whatever. For me, it gives me the breakup that I want for the blues stuff, But I have full control of my volume knob to where if I turn it down, it'll clean up nicely.
Right. Beautiful.
But then again, it also has you can crank the gain knob all the way up to where you can play almost like 80s rock. So you can do some really crazy. And I still want to bring it down lower, guys, because I don't want to hurt you in here. So I don't even have the volume all the way up on it, but it's you can really get some like 80s Steve Vai kind of Joe Satriani rock tones.
Yep.
Really the most versatile distortion pedal I've ever had.
And then tell us what else you got there. You got a
Well, the next pedal in line is a pedal called the DLS Roto Spin.
which we're going to be giving away the big brother
The
to
big
that.
brother too, yeah. And actually, Brother Dave is in the audience, and he actually just put this pedal out, this NAMM show.
Oh,
And the little boy, the little baby of it, the Roto Spin. And guys, for you Danny Gatton fans, I got to show you this pedal because it's so cool. If you hit the switch on the left, it gives you like a nice. And then when you get into your leads, if you want to kick it up and make the Leslie swirl, then you can do that. But you have full flexibility as to when you want it to speed up and slow down just by hitting a switch.
very cool.
So you can, and it feels real natural as it slows down on stage, so it's just awesome.
Very cool.
Yep, so that's that, and then I have an ISP decimator, which you know is one of my,
Yep.
takes all the excess noise out of your rig. Then, folks, I just started working with TC Electronic, and I have the Flashback X4, which is just the most amazing
yeah.
delay I've ever had. And, of course, I have a typical kind of Johnny Highland signature kind of slap, which there will be some Johnny Highland tone prints, which I'm really excited about. You can go on TC's website, tone print website,
Yep.
and download my exact sound. So, but then I have the second slot. I have like a slap delay for the rockabilly. So I love that. And then the third delay in this little pedal is a nice creamy delay for like ballads. See how it has a nice swell to it?
Yeah.
So I love that. And then, of course, I have the Hall of Fame reverb to end my... This is my little honky tonk board. I have a really nice, big, huge board with all kinds of fun stuff, like the Digitech Mosaic, which is a great 12-string pedal.
Yep.
And run everything on pedal trains. I've got the Pedal Train Pro, and this is the 2.
Yep.
Everything's powered by Voodoo Lab, and I use Analysis Plus cables.
Yep. Yep. Great. Get such a wonderful sound.
Thank you so much.
Dino58 is asking, what amp is he playing through? This is a little Fender Hot Rod Deluxe that we just grabbed here at Groon's.
Yes, folks. Actually, I'm playing live. I'm playing a Reeve Space Cowboy 100-watt. And you can actually... Cliff Coltrere from DestroyAllGuitars.com. I have to thank Brother Cliff because those amps are absolutely splendiferous.
Yes.
And I need to thank all the guys from Avatar Cabinets. We have a signature Johnny Highland 412 cabinet out now.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but yeah, this little Fender sounds great, man.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, Folio 1, Ray, our good friend Ray, out from the Great Northwest, is asking when we're doing our little jams here, which is basically we've done a faster blues, we've done a slower blues. It's saying how do they know when exactly to switch roles and go from solo versus rhythm?
We don't.
It's all of our extensive rehearsal.
No,
That's how.
no,
That's how we
actually,
know.
man, it's about having fun, man. And I think when two guitar players have fun, and of course I love Steve's playing, and so I love to hear him pick. So usually I'll play a solo to where it feels good, and then I'll, when I get done my thought, then I'll say, hey, Steve, take it, man. And
Yeah.
so really we base it off of, I guess, I like to say when I start a solo, I have a thought
Yep.
of what I want it to say. And, of course, now that I've hit 40, yes, I'm thinking more musically. I'm not thinking licks. I'm thinking actual, melodic content and how to move around the fretboard with more ease. And but I think that really is how we do it, man. We hear something, and if we can play off it, we switch it up.
It's a conversation when you play in this sort of environment. It's a musical conversation, so I can kind of tell when he's going into a thought, and then when he's winding down from his solo or his musical time through, and then when he'll kind of slip into some rhythm stuff, and that's my cue to do my stuff, and I'll do my stuff a time or two.
Kind of like basketball players when they dribble down the court.
Yeah.
You see the other guy waiting, going, I wonder when he's going to pass me the ball.
Yeah.
But they hold their arm out and they have some kind of cue, and then all of a sudden, zoom, there it is.
Yep.
We're kind of the same way when we play guitar. We kind of know what each other's, we know how we, well, of course, we've played together enough where we know, how to read each other when we're getting down a thought, So.
And when you're playing in a band setting, in a musical setting, it is a lot like a basketball team. You all kind of know what the goal is, but you're not quite, it's not quite all spelled out of how you're going to get to that end goal. And so part of the beauty of it is seeing how folks can get in and out of solos and seeing what they can create together.
Well, and of course, it helps you too not to be a ball hog.
That's true.
Playing basketball, right? I mean, same way with playing guitar. I mean, yeah, Steve and I are both, and everybody in this room and everybody in Cyberworld, we're all guitar heads.
Yeah.
And we love to play, but it's learning how to play with somebody and be respectful of what they play. And of course, I guess it's that way in life in general. Yeah. But when you, I love Steve's style. And I love what he plays, and I love his chords. And so sometimes I'll get to soloing and he'll hit a chord, and I'll forget about the thought I was in and be like, well, there goes that solo. I don't even know where I was, man. Great chord though. So it's just guitar is fun in that we actually get to feed off of each other.
Yes.
And that's the enjoyable part of it. That's what makes guitar fun.
If someone wanted to get started playing a style like that, who are some folks that they could listen to, or some resources that they could go to?
Man, actually, I started...
Because you've done some stuff with TrueFire lately.
Man, TrueFire is absolutely the best out there. I've worked with TrueFire doing 2 videos now. We actually just got back from Florida to shoot my second video with them, and called 10 Gallon Guitar Part 2, which is called the Rhythm Edition. That's what we're going to call it. And I also have a 20 licks video coming out with Jam Track Central, in 2 weeks. So, but I really must say, Steve, yeah, TrueFire would be the best way. And of course, there's like Jam Play, there's Jam Track Central, there's, you guys really have it made in the cyber world, especially those of you with vision, because you can get on, the internet. I actually like watching YouTube. I'll go on YouTube and, type in, lesson with Joe Pass or lesson with Danny Gatton or what. You'd be surprised what you can find on YouTube as well. It's another great resource.
Yeah, tremendous.
Yeah.
All right, well, we need to start winding down here. Colin Hill is asking, Johnny, do you have any beginner exercises for the chicken picking, kind of a blues chicken picking? That would be a good starting place.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, actually, to get started with chicken picking, most people think, oh, it's all about the licks. Well, that may be the case, but it's really about the right hand too. Chicken picking, man, there's 4 major elements of what makes up chicken picking. There's steel guitar bends, so you're bending. Double stops, which are 2 notes played simultaneously, There's a lot of that in chicken picking. And then open strings, open string licks, those are really important. And then, of course, your scale knowledge and like little tricks like bending behind the nut and stuff like that. So I would recommend doing an exercise that involves the right hand just as much as the left hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple warm-up exercise that most people like to do where you're using a hammer-on kind of thing. But now what we're going to do is incorporate the actual middle finger and ring finger in. So we're going to go pick, and I'm just hammering on from the 4th to the 5th fret. Then I pull with the finger on the A. Pick, finger. And then I come back down with a straight pick, flat pick. And the whole goal is to use the 1st and 2nd finger up on the left hand, 1st and 3rd, 1st and 4th, 2nd and 4th, and 3rd and 4th.
All the combinations.
All the combinations. And then what you're doing is, sometimes, guys, what I'll do is I'll practice going down with the pick first, finger on the A, that kind of thing. I'll go through all that. But then what I'll do is I'll practice where I'm using just the pick and middle finger all the way down, all the way back, with all fingers, and then the pick, and then because you want to get equally as good with both fingers. So I'll actually do the whole thing again with the pick and the ring finger. So, So my middle finger's not doing a thing. The ring finger's doing all that. So it's it's good to get these fingers all kind of in tune with each other. The right hand's very important. So if I played it all together, you kind of get in a mode, if you will, where you're. So you just keep going on with that until it's over, and it will build you. Let me tell you, it makes you. And then, of course, the other thing is find a major scale, a very simple do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Let's use G, right? Now we have a simple major scale here, right? And we play it. Now let's play it right. And then you actually figure out all the open string scales or open strings that you can use to make a scale. For an example, I can go hit the open E, open B, A note, open G, open D, open A, and then a G chord, right? And I'll tune up. So, but really, it really helps when you're playing, learning to play chicken pickin', to have the access of open strings to where I can go. That really helped, and it was just that simple little G scale of playing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do with open strings that enabled me to start allowing myself the room I needed to start practicing bends.
Yeah.
And then, guys, I have a course called 10-Gallon Guitar with TrueFire that teaches you all the steel bends and all the open string licks and all that fun stuff. And you can go on to truefire.com and get that. But yeah, that's a fun little exercise that I still use to this day, and I hope that helps you.
Yeah. Wonderful. Let's see if we can try and land this ship. Let's give something away. Let's give away. It is time to give away our grand prize, which is the RotoSim from DLS Effects. Our good friend Dave from DLS Effects has provided this, and we're going to give this one away. Do you want to say anything about this?
I must say, man, Dave is a wonderful guy, and I've been here hanging at NAMM with him, and I got to tell you guys, this pedal is one of my absolute favorite pedals of all time because I'm such a huge Danny Gatton fan. And so I'm really excited for who's going to actually win this pedal. It's amazing. It really is.
Stereo gets you can control the levels of the swirl and all kinds of stuff.
The bass throb, the rotator, everything.
It is very cool pedal. Someone is about to win this. The winner of this is Dino58.
Ooh.
Dino58, congratulations!
Yay!
Hey! Dino58, send me your information at service@mightyoakmusic.com, your mailing address, phone number if you can, things like that. Thank you from Live Lessons and from Johnny and from DLS Pedals. Thank you, DLS Pedals, for providing that for us.
It's a monster. It's awesome.
Great pedal. We are going to be back on our normal Tuesday nights next Tuesday, so just 3 or 4 days from now. We're going to have, on July 14th, I'm excited to have Michael Nomad Rapole is going to be with us. He's a music director for Babyface. He's played with Alicia Keys and Stevie Wonder. He's usually out in Los Angeles and is just kind of in Nashville for the NAMM convention and staying over for a couple of days. And so he's going to be talking to us about being a working musician. He's on the road all the time, and just it's going to be a fantastic show from a guy who's played with everybody. So stay tuned with us next Tuesday night for Michael Rapole. We're excited to have him. Gosh, I'm just looking at the names. He's played with Carrie Underwood, Mary J. Blige, Stevie Wonder. He's going to talk about being a working guitarist. Over at Gibson Skills House, where we have a lot of our lessons, they put up new lessons each week and rotate things around. This week they have a foundation lesson I did on breaking out of position playing. If you're just kind of stuck in one area of the neck and you kind of only know, whatever key you're in, you're just going to move to that key and play the same licks you've always played. It's a good lesson on breaking yourself out of that habit. If you're tired of your own playing and tired of your own licks, then check it out. Break yourself out of that to get to some new areas of the neck. Think of the neck in a different way. We have a style lesson up there on doing some bluegrass songs.
Nice.
Johnny talked about some bluegrass, so we have a lesson on learning the song Wildwood Flower over there. We got a 10-minute power workout on bar chords. If you're struggling with bar chords and need to get some more hand strength, check those out. And then we have our artist interview with Gordon Kennedy, the great Gordon Kennedy, whose dad was Jerry Kennedy, who was the guitar player on Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman, whose guitar we saw today at the Musicians Hall of Fame. So, fantastic.
That is a cool guitar, too.
Oh, gosh. It is just the cool things we saw at the Musicians Hall of Fame. I walked by, the lady a person that was taking on this tour didn't even mention this, and I just happened to walk by, and there was Steve Lukather's guitar that he used on with Toto on the song Hold the Line.
Oh, man. I need to get back over there myself.
It's just great stuff. So, tremendous. All right, if you like the live lessons that we do, please like us on Ustream. Check out our Twitter feed, too. That's a good way to keep in touch with us. We're going to be putting more and more stuff up there in the coming days. Got to thank our producer, Garrett Hessla, and Cole Gaines, our production team, and our wonderful studio audience that we have this time.
Rock.
Yes! Usually we are just here by ourselves, so it's very nice to have a full room of stuff. And thank you very much, Johnny, for being here with us.
Pleasure, man.
What a
Thank
joy.
you.
Everybody give Johnny a hand.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's close it out with something.
Yeah, man, I want to take this time, too, man, and thank everybody for putting up with me today. I've been so tired from the NAMM show, but I've had a blast. And for all you in Cyberland, I love y'all. Thanks so much for supporting me all the time and coming to the website. You can go to johnnyhighland.net.
That's right.
And you can actually drop me a message at info@johnnyhighland.net, and I'll answer you back. I'd love to hear from you. Keep learning, stay safe, and keep picking. Never stop. It's always fun.
Yeah.
So what do you want to play there, my buddy?
I don't know. We can do something, maybe an A.
Nice. Thank you, brother. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, everyone. Keep up the great work on your music, on your learning, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Not yet. We've got one more thing. Come on in.
Oh, we have same things I don't know about.
On behalf of our
Oh, we have a mic too.
man, I don't know what to do with that. On behalf of our guitar gathering crew and all the family that's out there, we'd like to say thank you for this week. All you've done for us, your heart, your love for music, and your talent, and just giving back. It's a signed card from all of us. A little token of our appreciation. It's a debit card. Don't.
Good for any guitar here in Groons.
Nice.
I don't know if
Nice.
I'd go that far. And just that's for me. I appreciate working with you this last 6 months. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. This is Mike. Mike.
Awesome.
This wonderful man has is the reason that we are having a guitar conference this week, and he has helped put this together and has been kind of. He's the reason that I'm here this week, is because of his persistence and these wonderful folks that have come and learning. And I can't get through this guitar gathering without giving some help to the wonderful people that have started all of this in previous years. Mike is carrying the torch with it now. This whole idea started with our good friend Adele, who is no longer with us, and Mike M. And we miss you, Adele. So glad that you helped start all of this sort of stuff, and it's a wonderful blessing. And looking forward to seeing all of you guys next year and being part of this.
Way to go, Popeye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's awesome, buddy.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.